Well, we got a fun one here, guys. This unit right here apparently is not cooling properly. But there's been other contractors literally this morning working on this unit. The owner threw them off the job. Didn't like what they were telling him, so he called us in for a second opinion. So I have no idea what's going on with it. He said it does run, it does cool, but it doesn't cool properly. So we're gonna get into this thing and see what the heck is going on. It is old. He explained that to me. He said, I know it's old. I know it needs to be replaced. But he's just trying to get by. Just got it opened up here. We got a lot of oil right here. We got wires all hanging all over the place. That's never good. But they're hanging right on this hot gas line, so Y1 and Y2 is jumped together, which I've seen that happen a lot. That doesn't really concern me. It shouldn't be that way, but I just did turn it on. They actually even left it off, so he really pissed those other guys off. Apparently the owner of the company told him to go fuck himself and this and that. So I think they weren't done diagnosing the unit. They probably sent a lower level guy out here to take a look, see what was going on, couldn't figure it out. So they brought higher level guy out here. But the problem was they didn't call him. And this is a shopping complex. You need to get keys for the roof. You need to get approval to go on the roof and stuff like that. And the guy kind of just showed up. And that pissed the owner off. So, you know, if they needed a higher level guy, I understand that. You know, some guys can't figure out all the problems, but you know, this isn't the place where you just show up to without any notice. So, we're gonna give him a good solid diagnostic and see what's going on. Just real quick, guys, PI's Finest, email me, JeffsHVACadventures@gmail.com. You are the winner of the TP2 thermal imaging camera. I'll get your address, we'll get it sent out. All right, I jumped it out. It looks like compressor 1 started. Compressor 2 has not started yet. This fan is running backwards. That's crazy. That's weird. Oh, panel almost fell. So that fan is running backwards. It is newer than this one, but why the shit is it running backwards? Looks like OEM. We got a bag capacitor maybe? So it's a 3-wire setup. Purple, brown, black. Unless they got the wrong motor. Let's see here, so that comes to here, and then purple goes to, okay, so it jumps right off of the, all right, and this black wire right here. Okay, so they go right to this relay here. Okay. Or the one fan goes to the relay, the other one goes to this contactor. Why the hell is that fan running backwards? It looks like an OEM motor. It honestly does. All right, looks like we got a bad capacitor. It's a 25. So if we go between here and here, if you guys can see that, 0. Let's just hook it back up for the time being so we can check the other one. I wonder if these guys even knew that the capacitor was bad, or if they knew that other one was running backwards. Although I pretty much thought all HVAC guys, whenever they first look at a unit, what does everybody first do if a unit's running when you come to it? Hand over the fan, hand over the fan. Almost every HVAC guy does that when they walk up on a unit that's running. And I knew that immediately. Okay, let's check this other one real quick. This one's only got half the microfarads it needs at 12. It's supposed to have 25. So we got 2 bad capacitors. When I pushed this contactor in before to make one of the fans run, it actually got stuck. So it did pop back out, but we'll need a new contactor too. I still want to see what's going on with all this oil. All right, just for right now, I threw a I threw a new cap on. I want to see if that fixes our condenser fan motor. If it doesn't, then I don't know what's going on here, but probably a bad fan motor, or someone installed the wrong fan motor. But I've seen bad caps before cause a motor to spin the wrong way. So keep that in the back of your mind, guys. If you ever see a condenser fan running the wrong way and it was previously running the right way, check the cap. So we're gonna let this thing start up. I am going to real quick leak search with my electronic around all around here. See, it's going all the way up that pipe there. So I almost think this thing's leaking. That's a whole lot of oil for it to just be someone taking their gauges on and off. It's been kind of dripped on the ground here some. Yeah, I bet you it's leaking from right here. Somewhere close to there. Could be leaking out of the Schraders. I didn't find anything right away with the leak search. Of course, it is completely possible the other guys fixed the leak. If it was a bad Schrader or something like that. I can tell they've taken these off. All of them. So, alright, I'm tired of waiting on this thing to time out. I'm going to jump it out. Alright, our motor is now running the right way. It even sucked the door in now, so before it wasn't sucking the door up. So we're gonna let that come on. We're gonna let the other one stage on, and we'll probe up on this thing and see what it's doing. All right, second stage just kicked on. I haven't probed up yet. Oh, pretty cold. All right, so this is circuit number 2 that I suspected was a little low. That subcoolant seems pretty high. Suction pressure's low. I wonder if this has a replacement in it. There's no markings on it. There's no markings on it that says it does. It does have orange paint on it, so it could be 407C someone put in it. Of course, I don't know that for sure. Let's see what it does when we switch over to 407C. See, those readings look a little better. People need to do a better job of saying it has 407C or write it on there somewhere. But like I said, it does have orange paint, but I don't know if that paint came from the factory like that or not. But I'm thinking it does have 407C in it. I really do. And if that's the case, it still is a little low, but not crazy. All right, this is circuit 1. I just think someone's put 407C in this one too. Because the numbers get a lot better once I do 407C. It sucks because I don't know for sure, and there's no markings on it whatsoever, except the orange paint on that compressor. And it looks like that compressor's been replaced. Oh, maybe not. 2008. So that paint might be original from the factory. All right, so we're going to write this thing up two capacitors, one 3-phase contactor. We'll present it to the owner and we'll see what he says. We'll go ahead and fix it. So I just talked to the owner. He went ahead and approved the work, but apparently the other guys were ready to condemn the condenser coil and was trying to sell him a new unit. And I think that's what kind of pissed him off, because the guy has a little bit of HVAC experience. You know, he's no HVAC tech, of course, that's why he called us. But he said, something's not adding up here. He said, because it all of a sudden happened. He said, and we are right here by the ocean. He said, it's not deteriorated. I don't see anything crazy with that. He said, and they cleaned it not long ago, and it wasn't really dirty. So he said, it's just not making sense. And I said, yeah, it wasn't making sense because it's got a bad capacitor. So thank God I saved this guy from that. And I think it's just an inexperienced technician was up there looking at it, and possibly the more experienced technician would have found that had he had a little bit of time to work on it, but he did not afford them that time. The owner didn't. So he's been using them for 3 years though, for his service contracts and everything, because he has to have the unit serviced quarterly by his lease with the property manager. And he wasn't happy with that. The guys never showed up when they were supposed to. He actually had to have them forge work orders saying they worked on the unit when they really didn't, so he wouldn't get a strike on his lease or whatever they call it. So he's just super upset with this company. And you know, I get it. You know, sometimes you get busy, you can't get to your PMs, but man, he was just fed up. So their loss is my gain. All right, we got the new contactor put in. We'll probably go ahead and put the cover back on this one too. Somebody pulled it off. We are right here by the beach. Actually, I don't think this is the cover that goes on this one. Nope, sure isn't. Okay, well, we got our 2 new caps put in. I was not able to mount them in such a way so we could see the writing on them. So I put right here 25 MFD caps with an arrow pointing that way, so the next guy knows, so he doesn't have to take them off to check them. Yeah, and we're about to turn this thing back on. I don't need this hooked up anymore, so we'll probably take these guys off and get this thing back running. Still don't like all this oil that's here, but I leak checked it with my electronic. I couldn't find anything, and like I said, this one really didn't seem low anyway. Number 2 might have been a little low, but guys, I don't even carry R22 anymore, so there's not a whole lot I can do for this guy. Plus, that wasn't the main issue anyway. It was that fan running backwards. The other guys were telling him, yeah, it's running really high head. We think you got a bad coil, with no evidence of that whatsoever. I mean, look at this coil. Look, it's got a little bit of hail damage, maybe a little bit of deterioration, but there's nothing about this coil that would cause high head pressure unless it was completely packed. And after I got it running, our head pressure was just over 200. So the problem was he had one fan running one way and the other fan running the other way, and in turn was not moving any air at all. So their head pressure was probably immense for R22. I'd say it was probably over 300 at least. We're letting the unit come on naturally by thermostat. It's just got a Pro 5000, maybe Pro 6000, the old style Honeywell down there. Let it come on gradually. I believe it has a duct sensor also, because it was in a back room, and I think that's what these wires right here are probably for. Probably the duct sensor. It probably has a duct smoke somewhere on here. I believe this unit's 15 tons. It's hard to tell by Trane serial number or Trane's model number here, 211, but this I believe is a 10-ton compressor. It's also got a, you know, this unit, yeah, it's hard to tell. Anybody more up on Trane numbers than I am, you can let me know, but I think it's 15 tons. All right, both of our fans came on, spinning in the right direction. Our contactor pulled in, our new contactor. We'll just give it a minute or so, make sure the other stage comes on. We'll be good to go. All right, guys, we got them all straightened out. So a couple bad capacitors, bad contactor, and he's back in business. So I think he's gonna move his service contract over to us also. The only thing is he had just renewed with the other company, so he might fight them for a refund. Not sure how that's gonna go, but either way, yeah, we got him up and running, and you know, it's hard. It's a hard thing, you know, and I've been a lower level technician, scratching my head at stuff, not knowing what's going on, having to call in help, but you know, if you don't, that's where experience comes in. If you haven't seen a condenser motor spinning backwards due to a bad capacitor and you've never heard of it happening, then you don't think it's going to happen. Although I don't even think they were even on that track yet. They just knew it had high head pressure. So they were coming back to, I guess, investigate the coil, clean the coil, seeing if they could get the head pressure down, but that would not have worked. They also quoted him to replace the condenser coil, and had he approved that, that still wouldn't have worked. So either way, we got him going. So, all right, guys, that's it for this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.